He raced cars in the early years of automobiles. He was a yachtsman of unrivaled talent and ability. A scientist, a dreamer, a celebrity, and a collector. And this was his home, an estate that 100 years later remains a monument to this larger-than-life figure, William K. Vanderbilt II. Hello and welcome. I'm Graham Sheldon. Built in 1910, this estate houses some of the rarest artifacts the world over, and was summer home to one of the wealthiest men in America. Join us as we tour Eagle's Nest on Palatial Passport. Building the most opulent home in New York wasn't easy, but William K. Vanderbilt Jr. was the heir to one of the largest fortunes in U.S. history, and he was confident he was up to the task. The Vanderbilt family, and in turn William K., owes their fortunes to the efforts of one man, Cornelius Vanderbilt.
Cornelius Vanderbilt started a small shipping company from where he lived on Staten Island.
The story is he borrowed some money from his mother to buy his first little ferry.
He began ferrying people back and forth from the various boroughs of New York, from Staten Island to Manhattan, from Staten Island to Brooklyn. He started making a lot of money doing that because there was a need for it. People needed to get from one borough to another. He was a really, really sharp businessman. And he knew that as long as his competitors weren't making money, that he didn't have to worry. So he would ferry people for free rather than allow them to go on his competitors' lines. And he would advertise it that way. He also had his wife start a little bed and breakfast inn type place. So he would ferry people, drop them off at the inn, which was owned and operated by his wife, and then they'd continue on their journey the next day. So he was making money all the way around. Cornelius really was good at getting people to places cheaper and faster than anyone else, and that's why he was so successful.
His success translated into dollar signs for the Vanderbilt family.
They reported that at one time, the Vanderbilt family had more money than the U.S. government.
All this wealth had to go somewhere, and upon Cornelius's death, the majority was given to one lucky son.
He left the bulk of his money to one son, named William Henry Vanderbilt.
Giving the money to William Henry Vanderbilt proved to be Cornelius's last great business decision. He died in 1877, having defined American transportation for decades. William Henry immediately capitalized on New York's location as a transport hub and expanded railway lines throughout the Northeast.
William Henry doubled the family fortune. He was an excellent businessman, and branches of the Vanderbilt family, not directly Henry, but there's a few branches of the family, owned nearly every railroad in the United States at one time or another.
With this vast transport empire, the Vanderbilts had a historic fortune and weren't shy about spending it. They went on to build some of the most famous homes in the U.S., estates like the Breakers and Marble House, and of course, Eagle's Nest. Born into a life of luxury on March 2, 1878, William K. Vanderbilt II, great-grandson of Cornelius Vanderbilt, was headed for greatness, but maybe not as a businessman.
He also wasn't known for making the money or doing much. He was known more for spending the money.
And spend it he did. He was an avid yachtsman, and when it came time to choose a location for his palace, the choice was easy. He settled upon the North Shore of Long Island, New York.
Willie wanted to be away from the hustle and bustle of New York City society, but close enough he still could get there to attend to his business. And he also wanted to be on the water at a place where he could harbor his wonderful ships.
He contracted Warren and Wetmore, a very prestigious architectural firm from New York City.
Warren and Wetmore was the preferred firm of the New York Central Railroad. The owners of the New York Central, the Vanderbilt family. With this close business relationship already in existence, it was an easy choice.
Willie hired no one but the best.
They were really the popular cutting-edge architects of the era. They were building all the skyscrapers, all using the new technology, the steel girder construction that was going on in New York City. When he wanted to do something, he would seek out the best people available anywhere, and he would ask everyone he had to ask, who's the best, or who should I use, or who should I see, and he would seek out the best people in each field. And I think he felt that way about the firm Warren and Wetmore.
The initial villa the firm built was smaller, but over the following years it changed to something dramatically different.
As soon as you walk in, you know you're not on Long Island anymore.
His vision changed, and I think it had to do with the influence from his world travels, and it became a Spanish Moorish structure.
Several elements that define a Spanish Moorish structure included ornate doors and stucco, the red tile roof, and a large central courtyard, which is the hallmark of that design style. But even with a European design, Willie K. Vanderbilt Jr. never forgot his roots when naming the estate.
There are two grand eagles at the entranceway that are originally on top of Grand Central Station, which was owned by the Vanderbilts.
Of course, there is another version of the story.
There was actually an eagle's nest here, and he saw an eagle flying away out of it and was so taken, so impressed by it, that that's the name he chose. I'm thinking it might be a little bit of both.
Whatever the story, the eagles guarding the gate to the property serve as a constant reminder of the Vanderbilt name and the history it holds. Of course, if that isn't reminder enough, there is also the family symbol right above the gate. When we return, we explore the elaborate rooms and discover why Willie K. was a celebrity in his time.